Welcome back to Las Vegas, basketball fans. With Kevin Malater, I'm Walker Smith here to bring you the second semifinal of the Pac-12 Women's Tournament. Stanford already moving on, and we got another good one for you. It's the Utes taking on the Ducks for the nightcap. And it's looking to be a good game. Both of these teams coming in off of completely different scenarios. Oregon, the best way to say it, they survived against UCLA last night, and Utah put on probably the best performance we've seen from any team in this tournament so far.
Yeah, and Utah just the most complete team win I think we've seen in this entire tournament. They out-rebounded Washington State last night 41-32. They shot 5 for 20, or forced Washington 5 of 22 from behind the arc. They put up 9 threes in their game last night. The most complete team effort. And by the way, also, they shot 92% from the free throw line. So they're scoring in all different assets, which is going to be key against this Oregon team that has a good defense.
And this is a Utah team that knows how to score, and they score from beyond the arc. In the final regular season game this season, the Utes set the single season record for threes in a season, and that is their identity. They like to shoot it from deep.
Yeah, it's also key to note their final regular season game was against Oregon. So they know you can shoot the three ball against Oregon. They shot it well last night. They're going to look to do it again. We'll see, though, how Kelly Graves' team has adjusted since their last time against the Utes in Salt Lake City.
And Utah is led by two phenomenal freshmen. Jenna Johnson, who has been outstanding in this Pac-12 tournament, is averaging 18 and a half through the last 2 games. And then Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, Gianna Neepkins, isn't far behind her. She had 9 points against Wazoo yesterday. They are phenomenal out there on the wings leading this team.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. I mean, Neepkins has been so good all season long. I mean, 20 on day 1 against California, which is the most of any player in terms of total points. And Johnson's done it on both sides of things. 19 points yesterday, 2 days ago against Cal, 18 points. But she's also contributing on the offensive side of things as well in terms of assists, and she's getting boards, which is what her team really needs against an Oregon team that has some height to them with Prince down low as well.
This team revolves around their freshmen, and Oregon does the complete opposite. They are an inside dominant team. They have 5 players standing at over 6'2", whereas Utah, they only have 1. And the thing about Oregon, they get their buckets inside. They had 22 points in the paint last night, as you said earlier, and they are led by Sedona Prince, standing at 6'7", and Niara Sabally standing at 6'5". They're going to be tough to guard here tonight.
Well, they're going to be tough to guard. They're also going to be tough to try to get rebounds against them. Both of them with double-doubles against UCLA last night. Sabally 15 and 15. Prince 12 and 12. That is a lot of rebounds, a lot of opportunities to get boards for Utah that you're probably not going to get because of the height that Sabally at 6'5" brings and Prince at 6'7" brings, as you just mentioned, Walker. But, I mean, Prince is averaging 4.5 boards a game. Sabally at 7 boards a game. This game is going to be won on the glass, and if Utah wants a chance tonight against this Oregon team, they're going to have to get some boards tonight.
The rebounding numbers will be the stat to watch as we are moments away from tip-off. The Utah Utes taking on the Oregon Ducks for the second spot in the championship of the Pac-12 Women's Tournament. Let's name your starting lineup. First for the Utes, the freshman Gianna Neepkins will be out there running the point. Drew Gilton getting the start, an incredible passer. Kennedy McQueen and Jenna Johnson will be out there and running the center spot. It'll be Kelsey Reese, who will see a lot of time without Peyton McFarland tonight, who hurt her knee in the first matchup. And out there for Oregon, the incredible guard tandem, and Tahina Paopao and India Rogers will be out there facilitating. Sydney Parrish will be out there in the third guard spot, and as we mentioned, Niara Sabally and Sedona Prince will be on the blocks. Sabally and Reese at the center circle as we get ready to tip off. A quick delay as they point over to the far sideline, waving a cameraman off, and we are set to go. Sabally and Reese tipping off. Ducks Utes, and the Ducks win the tip-off. Rogers will start it. Paopao swings it over. Now Rogers has it on the right side. She gets a screen from Sabally. Rogers is going to try a free throw line jump shot, no good. Rebound falls to Utah. Jackson's going to bring it up. Excuse me, that's McQueen. Neepkins swings it over to Gilton at the top, and she'll set up. 20 seconds on the shot clock, gives over. McQueen on the right side. She gives top to Johnson. She'll swing over. Neepkins gets a screen, going to cross the paint, going to go baseline, swings back out, and we're going to have it go out to Gilton. Gilton's going to feed back off to Neepkins. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Neepkins will fire a shot. High arcer hits the back of the rim and good. The first 3 of the night, and that 3 ball already starting here early.
Yeah, she got open quick because they did a double switch down inside, which saw Prince guarding Neepkins one-on-one, and that allowed the open 3.
Pow gives it inside Sabely. She's picked up by Reese. She'll spin to her left, goes to the bucket, too short, gets her own rebound. Gonna fight out and pass back out to Pow. Parrish at the top now, gets a screen from Sabely, kicks out Rogers on the right wing, back to Sabely. Gets a screen, Pow, that's Rogers who throws up a floater, no good. Reese with the board, and Utah gets the possession back. They're up 3 as we're 1:15 into the first quarter. We're going to slow it down here. Gilton for Utah has it on the right wing. She'll go inside. Looks for Jenna Johnson, and we're going to have a foul. Actually, no, it's going to be tipped out of bounds by one of the Ducks. Yeah, Utah will have the ball with 17 on the shot clock.
Yeah, Rogers tipped that ball out right there, which is why you have the call on the floor that Utah gets the ball.
Gilton to inbound. She gives it over to Johnson, who gets fouled on a jump shot. Excuse me, that's actually Gianna Neepkins over in the right corner. So she'll go to the line for the first free throws of the ball game.
I like so far, though, that Utah's not scared to go inside with the basketball here. They set up multiple plays that see their perimeter shooters go inside and attack some of the Oregon bigs right now. And that time we see Neepkins drawing the foul just on the low right block.
And that's what we mentioned, the free throws, excuse me, not the free throws, the freshmen early in the game. But the key player, I would believe, is going to be Kelsey Reese out there for Utah. She's going to have her hands full with both Sabely and Prince. And the Utes are off to a good start. They're up 5 as Neepkins hits both free throws. Prince is going to try a mid-range jump shot that hits the bottom of the net. Ducks finally on the board thanks to a 15-footer from Sedona Prince. A drive from Utah, kicks back out Gilton. She'll go to the left side. McQueen, who's going to fire a 3. Way too strong off the back of the backboard. Rogers going to push it up quickly for Oregon. Pow, back to Rogers. Rogers going to try a 3. It's short. Rebound falls to McQueen. McQueen's going to push it quickly. This is exactly how Oregon likes to play. She hands off. Gilton inside. Reese gets the shooter's roll on the floater inside. Utah goes back up 5. 7:45 left to go in the first. Pow with it for Oregon. Tries a 10-footer off glass, no good. But an offensive board by Prince, who puts it back in with the left hand.
Prince's bread and butter is getting those second chance points for this Oregon team. We saw it last night, and we're seeing it here early on.
Reese has it inside, kicks back out. Gilton, a long pass over to Neepkins, gives back up top. Gilton swing. McQueen, a 3 from the right wing, no good. Rebound falls to Neepkins, though. She'll drive in, throw up a floater from 5 feet. Well covered by Sabely, who gets the rebound off the miss. Utes lead by 3, 7:15 left. Sabely goes coast to coast, but she can't finish. Layup short, gets her own board, and puts it back in through contact.
Yeah, great job there by Sabely, doing it on both sides. Didn't give up on the first play, despite Neepkins getting the open layup. And now at the other end, doing it herself, getting her own board.
Utah with the ball, under 7 to play in the first. McQueen on the left wing. Swings over Gilton on the right wing. She's picked up by Rogers. Goes inside. Reese picked up by Sabely. She'll pivot to her right. Throws up a right hook. No good. Rebound falls to Sabely. Oregon with a chance to take their first lead of the ball game. They're down 1 with 6.5 to go in the first. Sabely at the top of the key. Gives it to Parrish, who spins off a screen. Gives back. Sabely from the free throw line. Hits it pure. And Oregon takes the lead 8-7.
One of the forgotten parts, in my opinion, I feel about Sabely and Prince's game is their ability to hit those mid-range jumpers. Right there, we see her get an open look and getting the bucket.
Couple jump shots from the post players early. Oregon's got their first lead. Utah with the ball. Neepkins in the left corner gives over McQueen. Swing to the right. It's Gilton. They go back to McQueen. She fakes a shot. Good pump fake. Drives cross paint, but loses the ball. Great poke by Pow. She'll bring it up on the far side of the court. Under 6. She'll throw up a floater from 5 feet out. Well short, no good. Falls to Neepkins, who's going to try and go coast to coast, running straight into 3 Oregon defenders. And Sabely sends it back where it came from. Stayed in bounds. Pow's going to push it up. Gives out. Parrish, a 3. Bang off the back iron. Oregon up 4 now. 5:30 left in the first.
We're seeing that Oregon's playing their pace, and they're making Utah play at Oregon's pace, and we're seeing right now that's working out for Kelly Graves' squad here in the first 5 minutes.
A 9-0 run over the last 2 minutes for the Ducks. Utes trying to answer, but that's not going to help as Rogers poked it away from Gilton. Pow, back to Rogers. Goes a nice Euro step, hits it, and one.
Yeah, right now, if you're Lynn Roberts, you have to think about emphasizing to your team to slow things down offensively. They're going too fast. 0 for 4 in their last 4 field goals attempts, a scoring drive of 240. And really, Oregon likes it when you play at their pace. That's how they thrive offensively. And you've seen that over the last 2.5 minutes. We're on that 11-0 run, potentially 12-0 depending on how this and one attempt goes.
Deja Young and Brianna Maxwell are going to check in for the Utes. Gilton and Jenna Johnson will exit. Rogers at the line for the three-point play. And it's a nice soft touch off the front of the rim and good. The Ducks go up 7. 5:11 to play in the first. Inbounders Young, she gets it in. That's Vieta, who also checked in for Utah. And she's going to be fouled by Pow. Going to be a little bit of a hip check.
Yeah, and if you're Lynn Roberts right now, try to get something going offensively here. Look to your three-point shooters. We saw Vieira did a nice job putting up 3 balls and running the offense last night against Wazoo. Only 3 points, but she did a good job offensively. She's on the floor right now.
A lot of effort out there. Reese hits the deck hard. Neepkins has it for the Utes. 12 on the shot clock. Crosses up. Prince goes back. Swings to Reese on the left baseline in the dunker spot. She'll go to the paint. Looking. Good pivot. Goes up strong. Can't hit it. The shot was too strong. Rebound falls to the Ducks. Pow is going to push it up for Oregon. Kicks back out to the left side. Now recently entered Kylie Watson has it. Swings back to the left, Pow. She gets a screen from Watson in a 15-foot shot, no good. Rebound is taken away and back out to Pow, who shoots a 3 and it rolls around, but Watson gets the rebound, another 3. This time it's Parrish and that one too short off the backboard.
Like the hustle there from Maddie Shears, fresh off the bench, poked that ball free, giving her team more opportunities.
Neepkin's going to try a 3 that rolls all around the rim and can't hit the bottom. That one goes in 9 out of 10 times. Parrish with it, gives back to Prince for the Ducks. Parrish now swings to the left side. They go back inside with Kylie Watson, picked up by Reese. A couple swats, good pivot, and a great finish with the left hand as she got Reese up with the up fake. Went under and finished with the left. Neepkins gives over Young, left wing, 3, it's pure! Another 3 for Utah, scores 16-10 in favor of the Ducks. 3 and a hook. Left to go in the first.
Utah in the first couple of minutes have seemed like they were scared to shoot 3s right there. Deja Young not afraid there in that possession.
Prince is going to fire a shot with Reese all over her from 8 feet out is good. Prince's jump shot is looking great today. Vieta gives it over to Young at the top of the key. Dribbles to her right, gives back Neepkins. She hasn't been subbed out of the game. Vieta has it, goes inside Young at the free throw line, dribbles to her right onto the elbow. Vieta now has it back on the wing. Young thought about a shot, swings over, Maxwell on the left side. Looking for someone to pass to. This Oregon zone is doing a great job. 5 on the shot clock. Viera at the top of the key. She'll drive to her left. Backed out, 2 on the shot clock. She's doubled, kicks back out. Maxwell, and she's not going to be able to get a shot off. A picture-perfect defensive possession for Oregon, and we're going to have a timeout on the floor.
Strong defensive possession. We see Oregon doubling up with Parrish and Prince on the small guard, Viera, who just stands at 5'6". That's a lot of height with Prince and Parrish staying at 6'7" and 6'2" respectively. A great defensive series for this Oregon team, and they're controlling here in the early going.
Ducks up 8 as we hit the media timeout. We'll be right back here on Blaze Radio. Welcome back to Blaze Radio Online. Here with Gavin Malater, I'm Walker Smith for the second semifinal of the Pac-12 Women's Tournament. The Ducks and the Utes are going at it here, and Oregon has the lead by 8 as we restart the first quarter with 2:40 left in it. Ducks with the ball. They go inside, Prince on the right elbow, back out Rogers, swing to Paris, then they go to left side, Watson. Back over to Shear, who just rechecked into the game. At the top of the key now is Rogers. Back to Shear. Utah switched to a little bit of a zone now as they go inside to Prince, who gets the shooter's roll from about 5 feet away.
It's going to be a long night for Utah. Prince is finding her mid-range jumper right now, Walker.
She's had a good night already. She's 4 for 4 with 8 points, 3 of which coming from mid-range jumpers. Utah with the ball now. Young specifically swings over Vieira on the left wing. Oregon still playing the zone. They go inside, a good pump fake, and it's put in by Jenna Johnson. Incredible up fake by her, under 2 to play. Ducks lead by 8 once again. Rogers has it on the left side, and they swing back inside Prince, back out Rogers. Both of these teams matching up with a 2-3 zone. Interesting play out of the timeout by Utah. Shear goes inside, Prince, a nice pass inside that finds the nice hands of Kylie Watson, who puts it up. No one was on her. The zone breaks down for Utah. A minute and a half, Oregon leads by 10. Vieira with the ball at the right wing for Utah. Gives over Isabel Palmer, who just checked in. Back to Vieira, who lost the handle. 15 on the shot clock, 1:15 on the game clock. Young at the free throw line, drives to her left, kicks back out Vieira. Now back Young, she fakes up a 3, goes to the right side. This is Palmer for a long three-pointer off the back iron, no good. Rebound fell to Shear. She'll give to Rogers. Rogers pushes it up the near side, and she'll back off. Good defense by Maxwell to send her away. Watson has it at the top of the key, swings back to Rogers. Maxwell going over the screen. Rogers drives in, throws one up through contact. No call, but it's going to be a block by Jenna Johnson. Vieira's going to push it quickly, going right past Shear. Throws up a nice right-handed layup, and it goes in. 10-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Utes down by 8. Oregon with the ball. Great 2-for-1 shot there for Utah. They'll get the ball back. Prince is going to fire another mid-range shot. That one's too strong. Rebound is going to find its way back to Prince as it came right back to her. A fresh 20 for Oregon. 2-second difference between shot and game clock. Rogers in the corner is wide open for 3, and she nails it. She's not going to miss those. No one was within 10 feet of her. 10 seconds on the game clock now. Shot clock off. Johnson inside, working on Prince, goes up strong, rolls out, rebound taps around and finds Rogers' hands. 1 second on the clock, she fires a full court shot, no good, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Oregon coming out strong, up 25-14.
Yeah, they're coming out strong, but what they've done really well in the last couple of minutes, they've found gaps in that 2-3 zone that Utah came out of after that immediate timeout. We saw that on the 3 from Rogers, the layup by Watson. Utah's done a nice job being aware of what defense Utah's been in all night long, and they're finding gaps in this Ute defense, which is something that Washington State couldn't do a night ago.
Utah gonna have to try and wake up out of this break in between the quarters. We'll head to the second in about a minute. Ducks up 11. Welcome back to Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. Two teams looking for a spot in the Pac-12 championship, and Oregon got off to a great start. They're up 11, and the rebounding numbers have really been in their favor early. Utah with the ball to come out of the quarter. They give it over on the right side. It's McQueen back to the top. Jenna Johnson, she'll drive to her left, gets back out, but goes up through contact, but they're not going to give the foul. It's going to be a charge on Johnson. She lowered her shoulder like a linebacker in there.
Yeah, she did, and that's just unfortunate for Utah because she did make the basket, which would have been an and one had she not lowered her shoulder against the defender, Maddie Shear.
Oregon with the ball. They went 5 of their last 7 to end the first quarter. Sabley with it. She'll drive inside. Floater was too strong, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Utah. So Oregon's going to get a fresh 20 under the basket.
Yeah, and you mentioned the rebounding battle right now. 14-7 in favor of the Ducks. Something to note about here as we enter the second.
Rogers gets the long inbound for Oregon. They give it back. Shear on the left elbow, goes inside. Sabley, who goes up strong, too strong as that one hits the backboard, not the rim. Utah gets the rebound and bring it up. Gilton back to Reese. She'll drive, gets past Sabley, goes up through contact, and gets the bucket. Utah gets their first bucket of the second quarter. They're still down 9 to Oregon. Sabley on the left side. Thinks about a mid-range shot, takes it too strong off the back iron. A hustle rebound there for McQueen. McQueen brings it up the far side of the court herself. Stops, gives it over to Johnson at the top. She shot fakes, looking for a handoff to Gilton. Good ball denial by Shear. Gets it to Neepkins now. Pick and roll. Johnson inside. She's double teamed and hits the deck hard. We're going to have a travel call to Shear. They're going to say she just tripped up. Great closeout. That was pow, and it was Kylie Watson who shut Johnson down on the left block.
Good closeout. I don't know, though, about that travel. The one official came in originally and said that she did not have possession of the basketball when she did hit the deck there.
A minute and a half into the second quarter. Ducks up 9 with the ball. Sabley gives it to Watson, who swings it to Rogers at the top of the key. And we're going to have a charge called off the ball. It's going to be on Watson. I think it's going to be an illegal screen. Shuffled her feet a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think that you got it right there, Walker. Illegal screen. Tried to screen around to give Shear some space and separation with the ball and try to make a move towards the basket. Just, like you said, moved her feet.
Utah gets the ball back. A little bit over 8 to play. Oregon leads 25-16. They go inside. Reese with the ball, covered by Sabley, looking for a kick back out. Finds McQueen on the right wing. She gets a screen from Reese. Going to stop and pop from the corner. No good, but rebound falls to Johnson, whose pass goes awry, and Rogers has a wide open layup uncontested, and Oregon extends the lead to 11, under 8 to play.
Yeah, right now Utah just needs to slow things down, play their game, find ways to create shots on the perimeter because that's what they excel at.
Up fake. McQueen drives in. A good cut by Johnson, who goes up strong, gets it and one.
Great play there by McQueen on the perimeter, She had the ball on the right wing with a nice pump fake. Could have taken the shot she wanted to. Instead, flings it down inside to her teammate and Johnson for the easy lay-in plus the foul.
She'll be at the line, her first time at the line tonight, and that was actually her first made basket. I mentioned at the top of the show, but she's been Utah's best player in this tournament. Oregon's done a good job shutting her down. She makes the free throw to complete the three-point play. Utah now down by 8. The Ducks with the ball. Rogers has it. Goes to Sabley. A fake handoff. Goes back. Rogers swing to Pau on the right wing. Looking for a screen from Prince. Doesn't use it. Going to throw up a high floater that hits the top of the backboard. And that rebound is long, and it's going out for a Utes fast break. They'll kick out. Gilton, swing Johnson. A 3 from the left wing. Hits the front of the rim. No good. And we're going to have a foul on the floor. I think they're going to call Sabley for a hook.
I believe you are right with that one. No, I think actually they're going to put it on Prince for grabbing Kelsey Reese. Reese had the position on the low right block and got wrapped around by Sedona Prince. But a nice job by Reese establishing her position down low.
Utah finally settling into the second quarter. Gianna Neepkins has it. Swings to McQueen on the left side. Gets a screen from Reese. Looking for the pick and roll. Doesn't get it. Cross-court pass by Gilton finds its way into the hands of Neepkins, who goes up strong right over Prince.
Smart play there. I got switched on to Sedona Prince, and she does a nice job finding the open teammate there.
Lead cut down to 6 for Oregon. Pow has it on the right wing, looking for a screen from Prince, uses it, kicks back out, right beyond the free throw line, and she hits the 15-footer. The mid-range has been there for Oregon, and they have not missed them much. They're up 8, 6.5 to play in the first half. Neepkins at the top of the key, gives back Johnson, a good up fake, gonna go in strong, rejected by Prince, and now Pow's gonna push it quickly. Pow, kick out, Parrish, good pump fake, drives cross paint, gonna go up strong, can't hit it, rebound, fought for, and think we're gonna have a jump ball on the floor. Prince and Reese were fighting for it. Actually, it was Prince and Neepkins. Possession arrow favors Oregon. 21 on the shot clock.
How about Sedona Prince on that last possession right there, staying strong in the paint and keeping her hands straight up instead of reaching over top of the Utah player.
Pow gets the rebound, goes to the left block. Sabley back out to Pow. Top of the key, Prince from the cylinder is going to send up a shot, too strong, high rebound, found its way into the hands of Kennedy McQueen. Gilton gets the pass, back to McQueen with the handoffs on the right side. Goes back, cross-court pass by Gilton, finds Neepkins. Cross up by Neepkins, uses a screen, goes baseline, can't find anywhere to go, kicks back out Reese. Now Johnson, gonna fake a handoff, drives to the right block, goes up strong, and that one's rejected by Sabley. Ball's poked around, Pow comes up with a 3-on-3 break. Rogers, back to Pow with the left hand, sit back away by Johnson.
And it's Utah ball too, what a play.
That was Kennedy McQueen. Actually, that sent that one almost out of bounds, but was able to recover it. A long pass by Gilton finds McQueen. Back to the top of the key, Johnson. Johnson goes inside. That's Neepkins fighting Prince under the basket. Kicks back to Prince, and it's taken away by Sabley. The defenses are stepping up now. Oregon still leads by 8 with 5 to play in the first half as Parrish goes inside. A nice pump fake puts it in. Oregon back up 10.
Yeah, and right now we're seeing Oregon kind of figuring out how to stop this Utah offense. They've kind of switched their mindset a little bit here.
Gilton has it with 15 on the shot clock for the Utes. Goes over, McQueen at the top. She'll fire a 28-foot three that hits the bottom of the net and nothing else. 7-point lead for Oregon now.
That's the types of shots we were seeing last night from Utah. If they get a few more of those, you're in for an interesting spot.
Sabley has it for Oregon, gives off Parrish. Thought about a three, gives back Sabley. On the left wing now is Pow. She'll drive to the right. Shoves off a little bit, no call. Pow's gonna try a mid-range shot from the left elbow that hits nothing but the bottom.
Yeah, that shove off really helped her get that space to make that basket. I'm unsure why the officials didn't call it.
Officials called it clean. 4 minutes to play in the first half. Utes go inside to Johnson, kick back out. McQueen wanted the three, but a good closeout by Pow. She drives to the left, kicks back out to Johnson. Drive to the free throw line. Gilton has it, 10 on the shot clock, under 4 in the half. Dribbles to her right. Gilton still with the ball in the left hand, drives cross paint, pump fake, goes up strong and one. Gilton's going to be at the line for the three-point play, and here come the Utes.
Yeah, something that Utah's doing despite not having the lead right now or only being down 33-26. They're not afraid to attack Sabley and Prince, which is really interesting here throughout the first 17 minutes of basketball.
Second quarter starting to get interesting. Oregon up 7 as we hit the second media timeout. We'll be right back. This is Blaze Radio. Welcome back to Blaze Radio Online. Utah down by 7, but Neepkins is at the free throw stripe to try and make it 6, completing a 3-point play, and does.
Yeah, that's something that Utah needs to try to take advantage of. Get to the line. They're a great free throw shooting team. We haven't seen that a lot today.
Pau is going to bring it up to the top of the key. She was picked up by Johnson, left side now, to recently entered Elise Hurst. Now onto the right corner. Pau again. She'll dribble to the free throw line. Fires up a free throw jump shot that rattles home. She has been having a good game so far. She's got 6 points on 3 for 9 shooting. Not very efficient, but they're going down. Recently checked in. Brianna Maxwell gives it back out. McQueen to the top. Gilton back to Maxwell. She'll try a 3. It hits it straight. 5-point lead for the Ducks after that 3. Maxwell from the corner.
Utah using their identity of being able to make threes to their advantage here.
Hurst drives, throws up a mid-range shot, no good. Rebound fell to Gilton. She'll push the pace quickly. Drives to the front, to the free throw line. Back out, Young, a 3-point ball, too far to the left, no good. Rebound fell to Hurst. Excuse me, that's Pau on the far side of the court with the ball now. Picked up by McQueen on the wing. Waving off, gets a screen from Watson. Still using the screen, gets around it. McQueen goes over, a good pick and roll. Watson goes inside and finishes. Picture perfect pick and roll between Pau and Watson. Utah has it. Down 7, 2.5 to play in the first half. Young inside the paint, kicks back out. Gilton, 18 on the shot clock. Gets a screen from Young. Gilton gives to the corner. That's Maxwell, swing to the right side, Young's going to drive baseline, pump fake, goes up, swatted away by Prince, but the rebound finds its way into hands of Reese, who's going to be fouled on a shot. She'll be at the line for 2.
Yeah, Utah's done a nice job hanging around with Oregon, only being out-rebounded right now 19-16, which is something we didn't think about at the top of the show, and Reese there using that advantage of getting to the board and drawing a foul, because right now Sedona Prince has really been kind of overly aggressive on the defensive side of things here in the first half.
Utah starting to pick up the pace, but Oregon plays with pace. We saw that yesterday against UCLA. That game was a track meet where they survived the Bruins. As Reese hits the first free throw, making it a 6-point advantage for the Ducks. 2:08 on the clock in the second quarter.
That was a track meet for both of us in the booth yesterday.
You're not wrong. I had to drink some tea after that one. Rogers gets the inbound as Reese makes the second free throw. 5-point advantage for the Ducks. Ball in the hands of Hurst. So dribble to the top of the key, goes to the right side. That's Shear. Dribbles back out to the wing, goes inside Prince. She's picked up by Reese on the right block. She's getting doubled by Young. Goes inside, loses the ball. Great defense by Young and Reese. Utah with a chance to cut it to 1 possession. Gilton has it for the Utes. Gives it over. McQueen. Swing left side, Maxwell. Now to Young at the free throw line, elbow. Back to McQueen. She'll fire a 3 from the right wing. Too short, high rebound. Finds its way into Young's hands. Great hustle. And now Gilton will slow it down. Under 1.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Gilton on the left wing. 10 on the shot clock. Gives it over Maxwell at the top. Gets a screen from Reese. Goes around it. Steps back. Is going to fire a 3 from the wing. No good. Long rebound finds its way into Watson's hands. That's Maddie Shear, who gives it to Hurst, and Rogers is going to slow it down now. 1 minute on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock for the Ducks. Maxwell guarding Rogers. Rogers fires a mid-range shot off the back iron, no good. Utah is going to bring it up. Chance for 2 for 1, 51 on the game clock. A long 3 taken by Maxwell is no good. A little ill-advised shot. That one was really deep. Hurst is going to fire a 3 now. That one's short. Long rebound finds its way in the hands of McQueen. Trading long 3s that miss. Maxwell on the left wing. 34 on the game clock. 23 on the shot clock. About a 10-second difference. And Gilton's going to slow it down. Looks over to Coach Kelly Graves to get the play. Drives left side. Gilton goes up strong. 2 soft off the backboard, no good. 15 on the game clock for the Ducks. It'll be the last possession. They lead by 5. Rogers with the ball. Picked up by Maxwell. Gets a screen, drives to her right, and we're going to have a foul on the floor. Going to be called on Brianna Maxwell.
Yeah, and going back to those last couple of possessions, just 2 ill-advised threes. They're just too early in the shot clock. I mean, I don't care if you take deep threes, but like when you're taking them with 18, 19 seconds on the shot clock, there's really ill-advised.
Right, Utah had a chance to try and go 2 for 1, couldn't get it. 2 on the game clock now. Rogers going to fire a 3, no good. No foul calls. There was a little bit of contact. Rogers a little upset, but that'll end the first half of play. Oregon Ducks lead 37-32.
Yeah, that was a good first half there overall by both sides. You know, Utah struggled in the early goings, but picked it back up because they went back to their bread and butter, those mid-range and perimeter shots. But the key thing for me, though, is they are not giving up on the glass. 19 rebounds for this Utes team, 14 of them on the defensive side of things, which is really key, and not allowing second chance opportunities for players like Sabley and Prince, which is their bread and butter for their offensive games.
For Oregon, the leading scorer has been Rogers here early. She's got 8 on 3 for 9 shooting. And for Utah, their bread and butter hasn't been working. They're 4 for 14 from long distance, only 28.6%, 36% from the field on the game. They went 0 for their last 6 to end the half. They got to pick up the shooting.
They got to pick up the perimeter shooting, but one thing that's really bailing them out right now, Kelsey Rees on the inside glass right now. She's giving you 5 boards on the total on the game, 6 points, which is something we didn't really talk about or didn't really highlight at the top of the show.
Neepkins leads in points for Utah with 7 as we hit the break. Oregon up 5. We'll be right back.
Back here inside Michelob Ultra Arena, Cab Mallory Walker Smith. We're joined here by our producer for this broadcast, Mallory Schnell, because we've got an interesting situation here where we have some fun mascots here at this tournament that we've seen over the past couple of days. So, for your halftime entertainment, we're going to be ranking, the three of us will give our top 5 mascots from the Pac-12 conference only. We're going to go 5-1.
Okay, so 5th favorite to 1st favorite.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
5th favorite to 1st favorite.
I feel like we all have the same number 1. So
I think we all do too.
We definitely all have the names. I mean, we've been talking about them off air all day.
Yes.
So Mallory, why don't you start?
Yes, exactly. Mallory, go
Okay.
first. 5.
My number 5 from UCLA is Joe Bruin.
Joe Bruin. Not on the list. I'm gonna be 100% honest. That
Not
one's
on
not
your
on my.
list?
That one's not on my list.
He's not on my list
I'll
either.
go.
I think he's a
I'm
good
not-
looking mascot.
I'm not a. He doesn't do much though. Like, I'm not.
Or Josephine too.
Yeah, him or Josephine. My 5 is the Buffalo of Colorado, Ralphie. Love Ralphie. Love the Buffs. He's out there. I love him. I love him to death. Just the name Buffs is incredible. And when you are the Buff, you have to be on the list.
Yes, exactly. My 5 is Sparky the Sun Devil, strictly because of the fact of how unique you get a Sun Devil. You don't really see that out there. That's why he's 5 for me. Mallory, 4.
Number 4, I'm going Ralphie Buffalo. You know, very friendly mascot. I've seen him interact with some other mascots around the Pac-12 the past few days. Very friendly, nice looking mascot.
Yeah, my number 4, you already mentioned Sparky. No bias intended, absolutely none. There's no reason for bias for Sparky to be on this list. But he's a very entertaining mascot. I've fist bumped him twice in my life. He's a great guy.
Great guy. My number 4 here is Traveler. For those of you who don't know, Traveler is the name of the live horse from USC.
That is true.
That is so cool that they have a live horse and then they do the Trojan thing where they spike the sword in the ground. I mean, come on.
Wait, but is the Trojan mascot that we have here not the mascot? It's not the horse. It's the Trojan. Their mascot is the Trojan.
Yes, but I guess Traveler is the name of the horse. I'm going off what the horse is.
Okay, we'll go with that.
horse.
I'm going to put an asterisk by that one.
Go ahead.
I mean, the Trojan is the mascot, not,
well, either
not
way,
the
he's
horse.
4 for me. The horse
Okay,
is 4.
okay.
The Trojan the human in the costume is 4 for me as
Okay,
well.
all right. Mallory, what's your 3?
3, I'm going with Benny the Beaver.
Hey, right there with you. Put it here.
It's a good one, right?
Benny. Yeah, that's our 3. Benny the Beaver. I mean, he just walks around, sits around. Like he's honestly a little bit of a lazy mascot, but he looks incredible. Whenever he walks, everything he does is cool.
Benny's my 3 as well. I mean, all day yesterday during the Oregon State-Stanford game, he was walking here at the media row.
He was. He would just walk around, pay no one any mind. He would just walk in front of us as we were calling the game, or walk back, and he would just be sitting over with the cheerleaders or the band. He would get into the chants a little bit. All right, let's go to number 2.
Yes.
From here on out, I'm pretty sure we all have about the same.
Yeah.
I don't know if we do.
For me,
Who's
it's
your
the
2?
tree.
The 2? Oh, the tree is
It's the
2.
Stanford tree. It's the dancing tree.
Wow.
The guy, the Stanford tree runs around the court,
Wow.
spinning in circles during every single set. The guy's incredible. He's a tree.
Mallory, who is your 2nd?
My 2nd is from the Arizona State Sun Devils,
Sparky.
Sparky.
No bias intended.
Who does push-ups? Do any of these other mascots
That is
do
true.
push-ups?
He
That's a
does
very good
push. He
point.
does push-ups during football games.
That is
Not
a
an
very-
original idea. They do it back in my sweet hometown of Knoxville.
They do that at Notre Dame games.
They
too.
do it at Notre Dame too. So it's not original, but he does do it after each score for Arizona State. Again, there is no bias intended. We are definitely an Arizona State radio station, but
Yep.
there's no bias, I promise.
We're
Nope.
capital J journalists here. My number 2 is different from both of yours. My
Wow.
number 2 is Ralphie.
Ralphie.
Ralphie's my number 2. I mean, come on. I mean, Ralphie he's such a good mascot. They also have, the baby version of him, which we've seen this week, Chip. I mean, who has the baby version of that?
He was my 5. So I agree he should be up there, but he's not all the way up there.
I don't know.
I don't understand how you guys don't have the tree who runs around and spins in circles and just flaps around. He's completely different.
Yes,
Like he doesn't have a mascot costume. He has metal rings around him and like paper tree that just flaps around.
Here, can I get a picture? Oh, let's get
Ralphie the Buffalo.
Or adding broadcast. I will say, though, if we wanted at the end of this, we could also add a bonus where we give our 12th mascot.
We could give our 12th mascot. All right, you want to do 12 before we all know who's number 1, but we'll
Yes.
save it
Yeah, we'll
for
save
the
one.
people. For the people,
Number-
we'll give out our last pick.
Mallory,
Who's the
who
worst
would be
mascot in the
worse?
Pac-12?
Again, you know, we do go to Arizona State University.
I know where this is going.
I'm not trying to be, you know, biased here in any way, but number 12 is Wilbur and Wilma.
The
The
Wildcats
Wildcats.
from Arizona.
Yep.
They are a very small mascot. In compared to stature, when they stand next to everyone else, they're small.
They are tiny. And also,
They're pretty small.
Their hats are way too big.
Their hats are way too big. Also, I mean, they're in Tucson. Like, what do you want them to do? They're in Tucson. All right.
Walker, who's your 12th?
Swoop for Utah, actually, who we're calling. I'm not a fan.
Swoop walked past us just a few moments ago.
He did. I'm not a fan. I don't like the red muscles. They're weird. He doesn't really do much that's interesting. I'm just not that big of a fan of him.
Yeah, Swoop's my 9. I mean, I wrote all 12, even though we only gave the top 5 or worse. My 12 is the tree.
You're wrong.
Wow.
I cannot stand.
I
mean,
cannot fathom how you have that take, Kevin.
it's a literally you could see the human inside of it.
It's
tree.
the principle of the tree,
No,
Kevin.
there's no principle for the tree. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
They're
It doesn't
literal.
make sense.
They are the Stanford trees.
I know. But
And the guy goes around spinning in circles. He could be considered the most energetic mascot in the Pac-12, in my opinion. Just from my view here this weekend, he's always out there.
he is always out there. Meanwhile, Utah's taking the court for second half warm-ups. All right, let's wrap this up, shall we? Number 1, are we all just gonna, should we just say this at the same
Should we
time?
say it on 3?
Ready?
All right.
1,
3,
2,
2,
3.
3.
Puddles. It's Puddles.
Puddle season.
It's Puddles. The guy, I mean, he's the most electric. In my opinion, he could be the most electric mascot in the NCAA. I mean, the guy doesn't lose.
How can you hate Puddles the duck?
He bats 1,000.
Yes.
The guy was a robot at one point years ago, and they brought him back. It's Puddles, the Oregon Duck. We're about 3 minutes out from the beginning of the second half.
I will add this real quick. Shows you how great Puddles is. How many teams put their mascot head, their actual mascot design head, on the team's uniforms?
Very true.
We have that with Oregon today. Puddles the Duck's head is on the shorts of the Oregon gold uniforms we have today.
I mean, he's a beautiful mascot. He's a clear number one overall pick. We're about 2.5 minutes out from the beginning of the second half between Utah and Oregon. Oregon's up 5. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Thank you for tuning in to this halftime show of the Pac-12 mascots being ranked.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course.
Appreciate you, Mal.
Mascot Madness.
Mascot madness.
Back in a minute here on
It's
Blaze
onion
Radio.
season.
Back here inside Michelob Ultra Arena for the start of our second half tonight and our second semifinal of the 2022 Pac-12 Women's Basketball Tournament between the second-seeded Oregon Ducks and the 6th-seeded Utah Utes. Oregon's up 37-32. Gavin Melader here with Walker Smith. Thank you for being with us tonight. And what has been a fun week for us here for Blaze Radio. Utah will get possession to start the second half. They're running it with Neepkins, Gilton, Johnson, McQueen, and Rees. Johnson will inbound it to Drew Gilton, and we are back underway. Gilton at the top of the key goes to her right for McQueen. McQueen being guarded closely by Rogers. Kicked on now, left wing three for Neepkins. Got it down. Nothing but net. 35-37 with 9:42 to go.
And those are the shots that need to fall. The reason Utah is down in this game is because they haven't made their open threes, and that is their game. They were 4 for 15 in the first half, now 1 for 1 in the second.
Meanwhile, Sabali's shot down on the low block is missed. Second try, she got her own rebound. No good, but a foul is called. Going to be on Kelsey Rees. That'll be Rees' first foul of the night, team's first of this second half.
Sabali has had a rough first half. She only went 2 for 7 with 4 points, trying to get right at the line to start this second.
She's having trouble down the interior as the first shot is good. 38-35.
Give all the credit to Kelsey Rees down there.
Yeah.
So only player over 6'2" on this Utah roster that's active, with Peyton McFarland out with a knee injury, and she's been excellent.
Second attempt missed, rebound in the left corner by Paris, but she threw it away right to Drew Gilton. Gilton now running with space, 3-on-1, kicks it out, right corner. Neepkins for three, off the back rim. Rebound though by McQueen of Utah. She'll kick it out to the left wing, a deep three from Gilton, no good. Sabali comes down with the board for Oregon, but she travels it immediately back to the Utes with 9:12 to go in the third.
And Utah has come out with much more energy than Oregon. Oregon, they're making these mistakes, a foul early, and then just an unadvised travel by Sabali. Utah has come out firing.
Raise the top of the key, the 5th turnover of the night for the Ducks, and a foul is called. It's going to be on Sedona Prince for contact on Gianna Neepkins. She was trying to get to the bucket.
And that's just a horrible foul by Prince. She reached in and hit the Utah player's face, and you don't need to do that. There was a very small chance she was going to get the ball there. Bad mistake.
McQueen now circling from the right wing, crosses over. Left elbow now, back to the left wing where she backs up for Neepkins. Neepkins driving the lane. Euro steps her way to the cup and is short. Ball got deflected out of bounds off the hand of India Rogers. And it'll stay with Oregon, but now a second official comes in, changes the call, and gives the ball to Oregon.
The official on the baseline called it out on Oregon, but then the official on the far side of the court came in, waved it off, and said Oregon ball.
Yeah, head coach for Utah, Lynn Roberts, not happy with our officiating crew after they changed the call when she didn't feel it was necessary. As Parrish for the left wing for Oregon. Give and go with Sabali, and there's a foul on the play. It's going to be on Gianna Neepkins, grabbing the wrist of Sydney Parrish. 8:39 to go, 38-35 Oregon here in the third quarter.
They're going to say Neepkins threw out a forearm a little bit, but that looked like just like a clean jump ball with Parrish as she fought over a screen to block a handoff.
Ball's inbound out to Pau. Left corner, steps inside the arc, hands it over now, tosses it down inside, and getting stripped was Sabali. It was stripped by Gilton. Now she goes coast to coast, right block. She is stuffed by Sydney Parrish. Back the other way now for Oregon comes Tahina Pau. Left wing now, down inside, right block. Parents up the window and down. 40-35 Ducks with 8:15 to go.
What a laser pass from Pau. Goes right through the paint to a cutting Prince. Easy lay.
Down inside, roll right block now. Johnson kicks it out, right wing. Goes Gilton, now to the low right corner now. Back to the top of the key for Gilton. The pass was from McQueen. Left corner now, Neepkins goes behind the back through contact. Rifles one on the top of the key. Three-pointer on the way is good from Jenna Johnson. 40-38 with 7:50 to go. The Utes clawing their way back into this game as the jump shot is no good out of the hand of Rogers. Rebounded now over to Neepkins. Neepkins now driving coast to coast. Kicks it out left wing. McQueen puts one up for three, and it's good. Utah has the lead. 41-40 with 7:30 to go. The Utes on fire out of the half.
3 threes out of the half, and I mentioned it at the top. Those shots weren't falling in the first, and now they are falling. This is Utah's game, and now they're up by 1.
6-0 run over the last 23 seconds. Ball get kicked out. Left corner three from Parrish, too strong. Boarded by Kennedy McQueen. McQueen now up ahead of Neepkins. Neepkins left wing. Slows it down at the hashtag of the Pac-12. Gets a screen from Johnson. Driving it is Neepkins and got denied by Sabali. came over and took that one away from Neepkins. Sabli now goes to work herself through contact, and a blocking foul is called. And going to the line to shoot two will be Niara Sabli. Foul will be coming on Kennedy McQueen.
Sabli may not have made it too much of a difference on offense, but she has been all over the place on defense. She's already got 3 blocks in the contest, plus a steal, as she goes to the line for her 3rd and 4th free throws.
Shear checks in for Oregon. Vieira and Desa Young rejoin for the Utes of Utah. Niara Sabli back to the line, only 5 points today, but she's contributing on the glass with 8 rebounds. First attempt on the way, and it's short. Front rimmed it. 41-40, 6:50 to go. Utah still leads.
And I don't know if it's just me, but Sabli doesn't look too comfortable out there. She's a pretty good free throw shooter, but she's just not able to get him this time as she hits the second.
41 all, 6:50 to go. Sabli did bang up her rib cage last night in the UCLA game. We did see that hinder a couple of her free throws last night. We'll see if could that be the case tonight. We'll see.
She just got subbed off as Kylie Watson re-enters, hobbled off a little gingerly.
As Vieira now runs it left wing for Utah. Fakes the shot, goes to the top of the key for Neepkins. Pump fakes and goes to her right, being guarded by Shear. Neepkins now right wing for McQueen. Crosses over, fakes the shot, hands it over. Neepkins pump fakes, dumps it down inside. Her pass got deflected by Shear. That ball was intended to go to Desa Young on the left elbow. 9 on the shot clock.
And Oregon came out a little more of a 2-1-2 zone on that look, with Prince staying up more close to the free throw line in there to block passing lanes.
Vieira to inbound, looking for a team to pass it to. She gets it to Neepkins, left wing 3, on the way and good. 44-41 with 6:23 to go. Utah can't miss from beyond the arc right now here in the second half as Shear runs the point for Oregon. Crosses over right wing, looking for help, gets it from Pau on the cut. Pau circles, drives into the paint. Left wing now for Parrish. Parrish at the top, goes right, crosses over, back out Pau. Slows it down at the Pac-12 logo, 10 on the shot clock. Picks up the Prince screen as Pau. Lobs it down low to Prince, off the window, too strong. Ball is loose, tipped around. Shear saves it for Oregon, kicks it out now to right wing, who's for Parrish. Crosses and drives, can't get it to go. Vieira comes down with the board, tips it over to Neepkins, and the Utes will go and transition with numbers. 3 on 2, Neepkins, Johnson, off the window and down. 46-41 with 5:30 to go. Timeout Kelly Graves, timeout Oregon. The Utes on fire, an 11-1 run over the last 2:20, and the Utes are up 5.
Incredible, just back-to-back play from Utah. Incredible help on the weak side when Prince got that ball and was about to go up there. 3 defenders collapsed down on her. They come up with the ball, a lot of hustle on that play, and then it's just a freshman connection between Johnson and Neepkins. Utah up 5 now. What an incredible start to the half they've had.
We talked about how they were slow at the gate. They're making up for it here. 5:36 to go. Utes up 5. We'll be back in a moment here on Blaze Radio. We welcome you back here to Blaze Radio's coverage of the 2022 Pac-12 Women's Basketball Tournament. Our second semifinal night. Who will have a date with Stanford in the championship game will be the Utes of Utah or the Oregon Ducks, as the Utes lead 46-41 with 5:36 to go. Kevin Malater joined by Walker Smith. Thank you for being with us tonight as Maddie Shearer will get the inbounds pass for Oregon and will go to work offensively. Crosses half court and gives way to Sedona Prince, left elbow now. Prince picking up her dribble and now will give it over to Shear at the top of the key. Back to Prince, left elbow again on a give and go. Prince finds Palpel, who's cutting around, top of the key. Stutter steps and drives back on in. Kicks out to Shear, who's on the right wing. Pump fakes, drives in. Jumper is no good. Too strong. Rebounded by Kennedy McQueen. McQueen up ahead to Vieira now. Vieira kicks it. Young, left wing, deep look. No, too strong. Board still loose. Fighting for it with bodies flying.
Sabrina's taking
And a jump ball is going to be called,
selfie.
which will give possession to Oregon. 5 minutes to go, 46-41. And that'll take us to a second immediate timeout. We'll rejoin you again in a minute. Still 46-41 with 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Utah leads. Back in a moment here on Blaze Radio. We welcome you back here out of the media timeout. Kevin Malater, Walker Smith, 46-41, Utah up with 5 minutes to go. Walker, this Utah team, 11-1 run. It's their ability to hit the three. What is different about their three-point shooting this half?
The fact that they're making the shots is one thing, but the thing I've been really impressed with is how they're passing around Oregon's zone. The reason they're getting these open looks is because they're breaking down this zone, off-ball movement, moving shooters around, getting them into spots, and the players are taking them this time. They're letting them fly. Could be right at the three-point line, could be 5 feet behind the three-point line, and they're hitting them, and that's why they're up 5.
A lot of people in this building didn't think this Utah team could make those shots in the early half because of just how locked down that Oregon defense was in that first half, in those first 20 minutes. But the last 5 have been a completely different story. 5 even here, back underway as Maddie Shear gets the inbounds pass from Kylie Watson for Oregon. Shear crosses half court, guarded by Brenna Maxwell. Shear does some fancy dribbling work. Down inside now into the paint for Prince. Turnaround through contact, no good. No call that Prince wanted. Ball picked up down by McQueen. Doesn't have numbers, so she'll slow it down at the right wing.
And Reese continuing to impress. A great defense on a spin move by Prince. Stood straight up, said no dice.
That's McQueen off the screen from Reese on the right wing. Kicks it out, left corner now. Young pump fakes and drives in the lane. Needs some help, stutters, kicks it back out now. Vieira at the top of the key, 10 on the shot clock. Vieira going against Watson in a tough height advantage. Kicks it out, left wing three on the way, in and out. That shot came from Brenna Maxwell. Ball still loose. Vieira gets tangled up with Sedona Prince, a tie-up, and it'll give Utah possession and a fresh 20.
I think Utah thought the shot clock was expiring, and they hoisted a shot with 4 on the shot clock, so a little bit of time to dribble. Lucky they're still getting the ball back.
Fresh 20, 4:14 to go, still 46-41 Utah. Inbounding it will be McQueen. Gets it in to Reese. Reese left corner, back to the left wing now for Vieira. She'll go to her right. Kicks it back, left wing now. Maxwell off the cutting screen for 3, no good. Ball got tipped around. Young comes down with the offensive board for Utah. Young will now dribble it back out and will hand it over to Vieira at the top of the key. 14 on the shot clock. Vieira goes to her right, right wing now, guarded by Pau. Left, there's top of the key, now for Young. Young through contact, hands it over now to Reese, touches it off the window and down. 48-41 Utah, 3:45 to go.
A great thing that Utah is doing is every time any of the guards drive, normally Reese or Young inside drives on the other side of the block and is there for a dump off when both low post defenders switch over.
As a shot from the right wing from Pau can't go, and Sedona Prince tips it out of bounds and gives possession to Utah, 3:33 to go. Oregon seems to be installing some sort of a press here against Utah to try to make him work for it across half court. Young now gets it in the backcourt. Picks up a screen from Reese and now works across the timeline and across half court. Guarded by Watson, she'll hand it over to Vieira, and the offense will go to work with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
This second unit has been really impressive for Utah.
They really have now, as Maxwell gets at the top of the key, gets a screen from Reese, puts up a 3, knocks it down. 51-41 Utah. The three-point shooting has come alive for Lynn Roberts' squad here in the second half.
Maxwell looking to get 1,000 points in her career, is now only 3 away after that one. She's hit 2 threes tonight.
Left wing now, Che, who just checked in, gives it over to Pau. Top of the key, drives in the lane and draws the foul. Looks like that'll be on Kelsey Reese. No, it's not. It'll be on Daisha Young through contact down the lane. And so Young's first foul, team's 5th of this quarter, so it'll send Pau to the line for 2 with 2:50 to go. 10-point Utah lead, their largest lead of the night.
Yeah, and they haven't scored in 4 minutes on the dot until Pau made the first free throw. And they've made 0 of their last 7 field goals. Their offense is flat, and their defense hasn't been able to keep up with Utah. Utah, since the beginning of the third quarter, has outscored Oregon 16-3.
As Pau goes 2 for 2 from the line. Team's 5 for 7 on today, 51-43, 2:45 to go. Young at the top of the key, going to work against Sabali. Hands it off to Maxwell. Maxwell needs a 3 for 1,000 points. Steps it back, needs some help, and will go to McQueen on the right wing. 50 on the shot clock. McQueen gets the screen from Reese. They won't switch as she sends it to Vieira on the right wing. Picks up the Reese screen. Now Oregon will switch and have Che on Vieira. And Che denies Vieira a shot. 4 on the shot clock. Maxwell gives it over to Vieira. Long range 3, no good. Off some iron. Sabali comes down with it for Oregon. She'll push it to Rogers. Rogers going, fighting for the lane, no good. Che comes down with the board and draws the foul. It'll be 2 free throws for Filipina Che. The foul will go against Daisha Young. That'll be her second. Team's 5th still, 2:11 to go, 51-43. The Ducks going to the line once again. As I mentioned a couple moments ago, they're 5 of 7 from the strike today.
Yeah, and Filipina Che making an early impact here. Didn't record a stat last night against UCLA, but averages about 4 points on the season and came in early, got a block on the last possession leading to that hoisted shot by Vieira. Misses the first free throw, however. But she's an important big man off the bench.
She is in her second attempt on the way. Rattles in and out, 0 for 2. Sabali the rebound through contact, and she'll go to the line now. Oregon using their height and drawing fouls against this undersized Utah team. That's Kelsey Reese with the foul. That'll be her second on the evening. 51-43, 2:09 to go here in the third quarter.
Officials not swallowing their whistles as much as they did earlier in this game. A lot of quick fouls, helping Oregon out as Sabally hits the first.
51-44. Sabally with 15 points last night, a double-double. Connects on both ends. 51-45, 2:09 to go in the third quarter. Give and go from Jilton back to Young. Young across the timeline at half court. Picked up by Sabling, gives it over to Gilton. Gilton now left wing, guarded closely by Shear. Left wing now. It's Maxwell. Maxwell hoists the three. No, too strong. Rebound by Kelsey Reese. Hughes backs in on Sabally. Had it poked away, but a foul is called first. That will be on Nyara Sabally. And Sabaly's third foul of the evening. So now let's see how Kelly Graves decides to use one of his big men. As Gilton will go to the inbounds pass, she'll give it to Maxwell. Maxwell right corner now. Picks up the screen from Reese. Reese was open, but Maxwell's pass was blocked by Maddie Shear on a nice defensive play. Now India Rogers will get it across half court and will slow it down because she didn't have numbers. Sabally left wing. Hands it off to Shear. Shear fakes right, goes left. And an offensive foul is called. That'll be on Sabally, and that's her fourth.
Yeah, and I was about to mention for the play that 3 fouls wasn't a big deal at this point in the game. The third quarter's almost over. She can be out there and keep playing, but now that's 4, and we're not to the fourth quarter. Arguably, Oregon's best big man is going to be on the bench.
She brings a lot to you on the glass. 15 boards last night, 10 so far tonight as Jilton controls it on the right wing. Goes left for Neepkins, who just rejoined. Neepkins left wing now. Circles around and backs on out. Lost the ball for a moment, but got it back. Neepkins goes to her right now. Right wing now for Young. Steps inside, drives in the lane on Prince. Circles around Sedona Prince and gets the floater to go.
Yeah,
53-45 with a minute to go.
You're right, and Sedona Prince, she got her break cut short because of Sabaly's foul. And because of that, she's already played 25 minutes in this ball game. Exhaustion could play a factor for her later, as Gilton's going to kick that one to the other side of the court.
Pow just try to feed it inside to Che. No going. You mentioned though Sedona Prince. Last night, 32 minutes in the win against Oregon. A lot of minutes here. You know she'll be playing some key moments down the stretch, especially if this result is currently holding.
And it's been a battle for her between she and Reese as Che is going to check out for Parrish. And the Ducks, they need to get a bucket. They haven't scored a field goal in 7.5 minutes.
Only points so far in that span has been for free throws. 46 seconds to go, 53-45 Oregon. As Prince's shot from the left elbow rattles out, didn't get the friendly bounce. Gilton now controls it with 37 to go. Hands it over to Maxwell. Maxwell picks up the screen from Reese, dumps it down inside on a pick and roll, but that's stolen by Maddie Shear. Shear swings it over now to Pow. Pow clicks it out. Right wing 3 on the way from Parrish. Off the front iron. 2 Utah players collide with 20 seconds to go. Jilton comes down though with the ball off the pass from Maxwell.
Oregon couldn't buy a bucket if they had $1 million right now. They haven't scored and they haven't shot a field goal in under 8 minutes.
Jilton left wing, 8 to go. Shot clock turned off. Neepkins now 5 seconds. Picks up the Reese screen. Going against Prince. Neepkins drives in. Reverse layup goes off the window around Sedona Prince and down from the left block. It's a 10-point Ute lead after 3 quarters of play. What a quarter though from this Utah team.
And this Utah team, they got to it from beyond the arc. And that's your Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. 15 points on 5 of 11 shooting. She is showing up tonight.
Really helping out this run here for Utah. We'll step aside in a moment. When we come back, we got 10 minutes of play left. Will Oregon respond or will Utah continue their hot streak and advance to the championship game? We'll find out soon. Stay with us here on Blaze Radio. We'll be right back. 10 minutes remaining here in this contest between Oregon and Utah, and the Utes had an explosive third quarter. They're up by 10 after being down 5 at the half. Kevin Malater and Walker Smith with you. Glad you could join us for our second semifinal here on Blaze Radio. As India Rogers runs it here for Oregon. She's on the left wing, gets a help from screen from Sedona Prince. Rogers drives in, hands it off to Prince on the board, and off the window and down. 55-47 with 9:44 to go.
That's a good start for Oregon after having a horrible third quarter. They went 0 of their last 10 field goals and didn't make a field goal for 8 minutes.
As Jilton's pass got deflected by Shear, she recoups it on the baseline, flips it back out now. Right wing three on the way from McQueen, too strong, boarded by Shear of Oregon. Maddie Shear now going quickly for the Ducks. Hesitates, accelerates, slows it down and kicks out to Rogers left wing. Rogers behind the back and with some fancy dribbling. Hands it over now to Prince. Over to Pow Pow. Pow Pow top the key. Drives in the lane. Floater can't go. Prince comes down with the rebound, however. Kicks it out. Swung now. Left corner. Pow Pow again. Good. 55-50. Utah with 9 minutes to go.
Lid on the basket got lifted during the quarter break. 5-0 run to start.
Neepkins hoists the three for Utah off the left wing. No good. And that one's stolen away by Jenna Johnson. Fights through the lane, no good. Reese has tried, no good. Ball still loose, a tie-up occurs, and Utah will get possession with 8:44 and 16 seconds on the shot clock.
Jenna Johnson, we didn't see a lot of her during that third quarter run, but she has been pivotal. She's got 10 points on 4 for 9 shooting and has 3 boards out there.
As Pinto checks in for Shear. Inbound now to Johnson, hands it back over to Jilton. Jilton at the top of the key, left wing now for McQueen. McQueen crosses over, backs up now, and continues to drive on the left side. McQueen lost the handle on it. Ball will remain with Utah. Oregon fans not happy with it. They believe that it bounced off the leg of McQueen. Instead, our officials disagree. 5 on the shot clock for Utah. Ball inbounded on the baseline. It will be Jilton to do the inbounding. Needs some help, looks for a teammate to pass it to, gets to McQueen. McQueen in left corner, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Hesitates, accelerates through the lane, off the window, the kiss is good. 57-50 with 8:25 to go.
Kennedy McQueen has been someone unsung today. She's got 8 points now.
And compare that to her 8 points as that jumper goes for Tahina Pow Pow, 57-52 with 8:11 to go.
Pow Pow starting to heat up. She's hit 3 of her last 4.
As Johnson draws the foul on the left wing. That'll be against Shania Pinto. Pinto recently checked in for Maddie Shear as Niara Sabali comes into the game. She has 4 fouls. She'll check in for Sedona Prince. However, interesting night for her. She does lead the team in reboundings tonight with 10. But she only has 8 points on 2 of 7 shooting from the field. 4 of her points coming from the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, and she just hasn't looked comfortable out there all night. And the credit, a lot of it goes to Kelsey Reese. But also, sadly, she's better than the way she's been playing. She's going to have to step it up in this 4th quarter, but she also has to be careful not to pick up her 5th.
Neepkins right wing now off the pass from Gilton, driving baseline. Neepkins through contact, kicks it out. McQueen, top the key for 3. No, in and out. Rebound, though, by Johnson, and she'll go to the line for 2. Or check that, actually, it was Kelsey Reese on the board, and she'll go to the line for 2.
I'll tell you someone who doesn't look fatigued, and that is Kelsey Reese. She's played the most minutes out of anyone in this game. She's got 28, has only sat out for 4 minutes in this contest, and she's been excellent, especially without Peyton McFarland, who went down in the middle of yesterday's game. Reese has been likely the most important player for Utah.
Scary looking injury to McFarland, who was such a key point for this Utah team after the first free throw down, 58-52, 7:47 to go. Second one on the way, too strong. Sabali comes down with it for Oregon. She'll flip it over now to Tahina Pow Pow. Pow Pow sprints up ahead, finds Parrish right wing. Back to Pow Pow. Right by the Pac-12 hashtag now, backs up, kicks it right corner now. Down into the lane for Sabali, and Sabali will draw a foul. Pass came in from the corner, and Parrish. Foul will be on Jenna Johnson. That'll be Johnson's 2nd foul on the evening, team's 1st foul of this quarter. And there's 7:35 remaining. Utah is by 6. Rogers to inbound. Go over to Pow Pow. Pow Pow cuts it through the lane, kicks it back out now. Left corner. Rogers for 3. You bet! 58-55 with 7:27 to go. Oregon fighting back. As we see Jenna Johnson whip it now on the right wing. Hands it over to McQueen. Oh, good cut by Johnson into the lane. Yes, and one! Jenna Johnson on the low right block, 60-55 with 7:17 to go.
Yeah, Pow was down there, tried to take a charge, but her back of her heels were in the cylinder, and Johnson, she just goes straight up and sends the ball over her back and puts it in. Incredible play, and the two freshmen we highlighted at the beginning of the show, they're the two most important players around them, and they've stepped up. 27 combined points, make it 28 with a made free throw to convert the three-point play.
61-55, 7:14 to go in regulation time as Pow on the left wing. Doesn't use the Sabali screen, gets it into the lane, pulls up mid-range, shot is good. 61-57, and Kelly Graves will burn his second timeout of the evening. 7:05 to go, 32nd timeout for Oregon.
Yeah, and for Oregon, they're starting to let their guards cook a bit. Rogers and Pow have been the primary scorers for this team. You know, Prince inside, she has been exhausted. Sabally hasn't been herself. Shea doesn't really have the offensive moves to really be able to shoulder the team inside. So they're leaning on their guards, and their guards are stepping up to keep this game close in the fourth quarter.
They really have. They're 4-4 on the last shots from the field so far. They're shooting 39% from the field on the day, but that has improved, though, in that second half. As Walker just mentioned, this break is being pushed into a full media break, so that means Walker and I will step aside for a moment. 7:05 to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back here on Blaze Radio. .705 remain in the fourth quarter. Utah leads Oregon 61-57 in our second semifinal. Utah currently has the ball on their own baseline, and Jenna Johnson will inbound it to Drew Gilton. Gilton sprints across half court and gets it over to the right wing now. Slowing it down, being guarded by Kylie Watson. Right wing now. Pikes up her dribble and gives it over to Kelsey Rees at the top of the key. Gilton comes back and collects it at the top. Goes to her right again. Picks up her dribble and tosses it back over to Rees. Down inside low. That shot is no good. Too short out of the hands of Jenna Johnson. Pow comes down with the rebound for Oregon. Swings it up now. Right wing. Rogers steps inside. Free throw line Jay. Rattles out. That one comes down though with the rebound was Kylie Watson. She swings it out now for Rogers. Rogers picks up the screen. Over now to Shear on the right wing. Shear comes back to the top. Over to Pow. Left wing 11 on the shot clock. Shear open three for the right wing. Rattles out, rolls out I should say, as Johnson comes down with the rebound and tosses it to Gilton. 6:11 remains, 61-57. Johnson, left wing, hesitates, accelerates, hands it over to Rees through contact and off the window and down. 63-57 with 6 to play. It's Rogers down left wing for Oregon. Circles around and stops. Picks up the screen from Watson. Oh, weaves through some defenders off the window. No good. Watson comes flying in and draws the foul. She hit the deck hard, though, on that play, Walker.
Yeah, great hustle play by Watson. And that's a play Rogers should finish. She got right by her defender, went for the finger roll in the left hand, just kind of didn't put enough on it, and it was short. Lucky to keep possession, though.
Daisha Young rejoins and replaces Kelsey Reeves for Utah. Sheer to inbound for Oregon. Connects with Parrish. Parrish, left wing for three. Bounces off the rim and gets the friendly roll in. 63-60 with 5:42 to play. Quickly up now for Utah's McQueen on the right wing. Circles it up to Young at the top. Young goes to her left, dribbling on the block. And that's going to be a double dribble. She tried to trick the officials for a brief moment, it seemed, but two officials caught it. 5:33 to play.
Yeah, and Utah, they're starting to lose that kind of fluidity they had in that third quarter. They're playing a little more one-on-one and driving. They got to get back to passing through the matchup zone Oregon's playing.
Pal breaks free through the lane, no good for contact. Neepkins collects it for Utah. Goes behind the back with some fancy dribbling and goes to the right wing now. McQueen spots up a three from the right wing. Bounces off the rim, no good. Watson comes down with it and draws a foul.
Going to be an over the back on Young.
It'll be on Jenna Johnson for the over the back. That'll be Johnson's third foul of the game. Third team foul in this quarter. As Pau gets the inbounds pass. 5:10 to go. 3-point lead for the Utes. Pau goes to her left. Picks up the Watson screen at the top. Picks up the Watson screen again at the top and drives in the lane. Through contact, no good. Believe that ball got deflected by Johnson. Now Neepkins wants to run it quickly for Utah. Oh, she goes behind the back through contact, and she'll go to the line for two.
Rogers is not happy, and that was a late whistle, and I don't blame her. She almost threw the ball in disgust, but a little too much contact during the play. We're seeing a replay on the board right now, and there's not a whole lot of contact there. Rogers was actually behind Neepkins. They're going to say she threw out an arm a little bit and maybe got her shoulder. Either way, Neepkins at the line for two shots. Hits the first.
Yeah, she made the first one, 64-60. I honestly thought that Maddie Shear got more of the arm than Rogers did on that play. The way Shear came in and tried to block that ball is Neepkins' second attempt on the way, and it's pure 65-60 with 4:52 to go. So it's the other Ducks respond after a call that doesn't go their way here in a close game. As Pau gets it right wing, looks for some help, she'll get it from Shear left wing. Swung on now to Rogers. Rogers goes to her left wing now. Rogers drives into the lane. Off the window, got it down, and the foul. India Rogers makes it 65-62 with 4:30 to go. Foul will be on Johnson. Now that's Johnson's fourth of the game. So interesting decision here with Lynn Roberts with 4:30 to play.
And this is what she does. Rogers led Oregon in scoring yesterday, and she's a closer, and she's playing like a closer with 8 points in the quarter, looking to make it 9. She's been excellent.
Rogers dribbles it a couple of times, spins in her hand, release is on the way, bounced off the rim, no good. Coming down with the rebound is Sabali, and she'll draw a foul. That'll be on Daisha Young. So Young's foul puts Oregon at their fifth foul, and so the Ducks now have free throws the rest of the way.
Yeah, and Utah, they got to get Kelsey Reeves back into this game. She got subbed off about 2.5 minutes ago, and you can clearly see the difference. Oregon immediately begins to go straight inside, and they're dominating inside, and that's what's leading to these free throws and fouls.
Sabli hits the first on, the second one on the way is good. 65-64, 4:30 to play. Sabli 5 of 7 from the charity strike tonight. Drew Gilton now, pressure from Pau. Light pressure as now Gilton gets across the timeline with some ease. Gilton at the left wing, goes to the top for Neepkins. Neepkins, he finds Johnson on the screen. He has to go against Sabli now. Neepkins drives baseline, kicks out corner. Young stepped out of bounds. Oregon ball.
Yeah, and Young has not had a great last 2 minutes. She's turned the ball over 3 times for Utah, and that's what's letting Oregon back into this game, and they got a chance to take the lead here with just over 4 to play.
Rogers works the point here for Oregon. Goes to her right for Sabli. Right wing, gives it over to Parrish. Parrish closer towards the top. Rogers just to the left of the top. Hands it over now to Parrish. Right wing, steps in and drives. Dumps it inside. Sabali gets it to go. Oregon regrabs the lead. 66-65 with 3:50 to play.
And there's the mismatch. She had McQueen, a great find, and that's just light work for Sabali.
It's a 6-0 run for the Ducks, and they take the lead as McQueen shoots a 3 and draws the foul. That's going to be on Sabali. That'll be her 5th, and she's done for the night. And a technical foul has just been issued to head coach Kelly Graves of Oregon. What a development here.
That is simply, I mean, I don't really know what to say about that. Oregon coach looked at the official and just said that's a horrible call. We'll look for the replay when we get it, but it seemed right for me. Sabali reached up, and she did. She got the hand of McQueen as she shot that shot, and that's going to be the end of Sabali's night. And that's huge.
Good call by the officiating crew. Sabali did making contact. So now 3 free throws are in order here for Kennedy McQueen. They originally sent Neepkins to the line. I think the officials thought the technical fouls were coming first. So 5 free throws coming up for Utah, who trail by 1 with 3:30 to go. McQueen will get 3, McQueen will get 3. Neepkins appears to be the technical shooter for Lynn Roberts.
When people say there's no such thing as a 5-point play in basketball, well, Utah, they got a chance to do that right here, and I mean, that's just simply unacceptable. All the assistants are around the Oregon coach in Graves, and he's talking to his starting lineup out there while these free throws are being made.
McQueen has made the first 2, so Utah up 1, now up 2 with 3:39 to go, 68-66. And now, instead of Neepkins, Lynn Roberts opts to have McQueen take the 2 technical shots as well. She'll dribble a couple of times, lets it fly. That one bounces out, so it's still a 2-point game.
It'll still stay a possession thanks to the 1 miss.
Second one on the way and good. So McQueen goes 4 of 5 in her 5 attempts from the line, courtesy of a 3-point foul and then a technical foul by Kelly Graves. Now Utah will get the ball at half court, so the Utes can really expand this thing if they're able to get a 3-pointer here. It'll be Drew Gilton at the left side of the court now. 3:33 to go, Utah by 3. Hands it off McQueen at the top. Circles around now and hands it off to Neepkins. Neepkins picks up the screen from Johnson. Right wing, backs up, hesitates, accelerates towards the cup. The kiss is no good, and the rebound comes down for Sydney Parrish. Parrish up ahead now for Rogers. Rogers slows it down, weaves through some Utah defenders, hands it over to Shear. Shear right wing, back to Rogers right wing. She'll pick up the Watson screen. Once again, Watson issues a screen as driving in as Rogers kicks it out. Pow, left wing 3 on the way, rattles out, ball still loose, and an offensive foul is called. That one will look like it'll be on Pow. She shut Kennedy McQueen out of the way, trying to go for that rebound.
Yeah, and the boards are going to be an interesting place down there. No Sabali, no Reese in the game currently. Prince isn't in the game for Oregon. It's all back-up big men besides Johnson, who technically plays the forward position, and McQueen will be back at the free throw line as Oregon just put them in the bonus.
So 2 free throws are in order here for McQueen, 4 of 5 from the day. All 4 of those makes coming on those 3 on that last chaotic scene as the first one goes down. 70-66, 3:01 to play.
I'm really confused.
Yeah, and Kennedy McQueen, she's actually only a 76% free throw shooter.
Misses the second one on the way, but she gets her own rebound though after a deflection, and now Gilton will slow it down at the top of the key. Hounded by Shear, and will go to her left. Needs some help, she'll get it from Neepkins. Neepkins just to the left of the Pac-12 logo. Oh, nice move there. Neepkins to the cup, and in, off the window. 72-66, 2:40 to go. Rogers now for Oregon, trying to make something happen. Kicks it out, 30-footer on the way from Parrish, no good. Neepkins the board for Utah.
And Parrish can make that shot, but that was like a panic move with under 3 to play.
Neepkins now into the lane, circles and stops. Needs to get rid of it to avoid a 3 seconds. She does. It's now Young on the left wing for Utah, holding her dribble, 13 on the shot clock, and will literally hand it off to Neepkins. Neepkins off the screen from Johnson. An offensive foul is called. I believe that's going to be a moving screen on Jenna Johnson, and Johnson's evening will come to a close.
And that's a big loss. Johnson will be done She just didn't get, she kind of came to a jump stop on that screen in the backcourt, up past the free throw line. So she'll be done, and arguably could be both best players on each team are done for the night.
That's the 5th foul. Looks like Kelsey Reeves will come back in for Utah. For the remaining 2 minutes and 8 seconds, 72-66 Utah leads. Oregon ball on their own side of the court. In the backcourt, I should say. It will be Parrish to inbound. She will be looking for Adina Rogers.
Interesting call by the Oregon coach to not put Prince back into this game.
Rogers crosses over through contact, lost it for a moment, but recollects herself. Right wing now, driving into the lane. The floater, no, it will not go. That's an offensive foul.
What a charge taken, and Utah is fired up. McQueen has been crucial these last couple minutes, and Oregon's going to come out in a full court press.
The basket does not count. Minute 58 to go. Utah by 6. Ball inbound to Neepkins. Ball gets deflected out of bounds. And there's a injured player. That's Drew Gilton, slow to get up.
And Gilton looked like she might have rolled up her ankle as she hit the ground. And will head over to the bench under her own power. But that's a huge loss. Gilton, she primarily runs the point for this Utah team. Normally when she plays, has the best court vision and is the best passer during the entire contest. She's got 5 assists tonight, and that'll bring Ines Vieira in to close this one out.
It'll be Oregon ball. They'll inbound it on their offensive baseline. So in front of Puddles the Duck and the Utah cheerleaders. Minute 57 to go. Utah still leads by 6. Or they changed the call now. Utah will get possession. Ball inbound on their own baseline, and now it'll be McQueen. She gets doubled by Watson and Rogers, and Lynn Roberts will take a timeout. That's her first of the game with a minute 52 to go.
And Lynn didn't want that one. She called it right as McQueen passed out of a double team. So that's just a stoppage of play, a little bit of an error from the coach, but either way, Utah will retain possession up 6.
We'll stay here. The ball will not advance with a minute 50 to go. It's interesting, though, because this Utah team now, depending on the status of Gilton, that's Gilton and McFarland both out. So 2 of your starters and 2 of your key scorers out of this game, and potentially on how this game goes in a final, maybe.
You're right, and especially one of these teams is going to have to go play Stanford at the end of this one.
Yeah. Utah
is a little under 2 minutes away from going to do that. They've never advanced in the Pac-12 tournament before, and have never made it to the NCAA tournament while they've been in the Pac-12. It's a huge moment for them, and they just got to close this one out, but they're going to have to do it without one of their star freshmen, and Oregon's going to have to try and come back without their best interior player.
Still something to note about here as Kelly Graves dismisses squad. Sedona Prince is still not on the floor.
You're right. We don't want to speculate. We didn't see her go down with any injury, but it's still Parrish and Kylie Watkins rounding out the forward spots for Oregon down the stretch.
Utah will inbound it in front of the Oregon bench. Referee currently looking at the monitor right now.
I think they might be looking at clock to see when the timeout was called.
And now the referees are sending their teams back to their respective benches here. You can actually see us on the television broadcast.
You're right, and we're going to hold our boom mic out so you guys can try and pick some of this up.
We'll try to let you listen in here to the officials talking.
I can't quite tell what they're reviewing, the band playing loudly.
Yes.
So we don't get a whole lot of knowledge, but they're looking at the play. They're looking at the play where Utah passed out of a double team. Currently the monitor in front of us shows, I believe it's Parrish, and that looks like
Rogers in there.
Harris and Rogers in there, and they have it freeze frame.
Yes.
I believe they're just looking to see when this timeout got called, unless they're looking to see if it could be Oregon ball in some way.
It doesn't appear, though, from the angle they're showing on the monitor that Maxwell was nowhere near stepping out of bounds.
You're right, and it wouldn't have mattered because Utah called a timeout before, while the pass was being made. So I'm thinking they're looking at when the double team happened over in the corner on McQueen to see if maybe McQueen stepped out.
I got him right here. Okay. All right. See? So here's the time we have. And according to that, from what we're at 157, right? When we started the possession, 157, 5.3. So 5 seconds came off of that. So we're at 152.25. We good. Good.
All right, so you guys just overheard the officials, and I believe they were just looking at clock, so they'll put 1:57 on the clock. Actually, no, they're going to put one. They're going to keep it at 1:52 left in the ball game.
So it'll still be Utah ball out of the timeout. As you heard our officiating crew talking about it. Our crew tonight contains of Robert Schofield, Tiffany Bird, and Benny Luna. Robert Schofield and Tiffany Bird were the two officials in front of us talking, and you can hear them on our boom mic. As Vieira controls the point here for Utah. Picks up some contact from Parrish, and we'll slow it down on the left wing. Minute 44 to go, 18 on the shot clock. Kicks it out now, right wing now. Neepkins draws to her right now. Drives into the lane, off the paint. Through contact, and the ball will not go in. It rolls off the rim. Minute 37 to go, 72-66. Foul will be on India Rogers.
Yeah, and this is where Neepkins decides it's her time. No one else is going to get the ball. Johnson's not in the game. Reese is in there to play defense. Neepkins has got to be the one taking it to the basket, and she does. She's done that a couple times where she comes around a screen across the paint, will come up to the elbow and drive with her right hand down, and it's worked about 5 times tonight.
As Neepkins is the first one in between the free throw. Drew Gilton just rejoins for Utah, and the second one falls for Neepkins, 74-66. Utes lead with 1:34 to go. Meanwhile, Pau drives baseline, reverse layup. The kiss off the glass is good. 74-68, minute 26 to go. Full court press coming here from the Ducks. As Young now, and then Ducks defense will back off as Young controls it across half court. Minute 17 to go.
Oregon's got to play lockdown defense. They're playing man defense now on this possession.
And the man defense sees Maddie Shear guarding Gianna Neepkins. Shear, known for her defense, pokes it away. Ball gets deflected in the backcourt. As it was deflected, no call will happen there from the officials. Neepkins, step back three, right wing, banks it off the glass, no good. Ball got stolen away by Young, saves it over the Neepkins with 1 minute to go.
What a
74-66.
play by Young. Rogers had the rebound in her hand. Young comes from the weak side and pokes it from behind her, and we're going to have a foul on the floor as Pau is going to be forced to do it.
And the Utah players rush over to Daisha Young, the 5'11 junior from Jonesboro, Arkansas. And now 2 free throws will be coming up here for Gianna Neepkins. The Utes up 6 with potential for 2 more with 48 seconds left, as Elise Hurst will now join for Oregon, replacing Maddie Shear.
It's just tough breaks for Oregon tonight. An incredible hustle by Utah. Without their 6th man in McFarland, come in here and hold one of the best interior scoring teams in the Pac-12, 68 points and not a whole lot inside, as Neepkins gets both free throws to make it a 3-possession game.
76-68, 48.2 to go, shot clock still on. Ball inbound to Pau. Pau collects it, left side, drives up, left wing now. Need a quick score here from Oregon and if you're the Ducks right now. It's Rogers on the right wing, backs in, drives into the lane, Euro steps her way to the cup, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, and Rogers, she's not the reason the Ducks might be followed in this one. She has played her heart out in this one, has 13 points, trailing only her backcourt mate Pau, who has 17. has a lot of clutch buckets in this fourth quarter, but right now it's looking like it might not be enough.
As Hurst will join on now for Kylie Watson. Che and Shear rejoin. Kelsey Rees now checks in for Utah. She'll replace Ines Vieira. Rogers at the line to shoot 2. 37 seconds left, 76-68 Utah. Rogers' first attempt on the way. Got it to go, 76-69, 37 seconds left still.
And there will be a 7-second difference between shot clock and game clock, but still, it'll be a 2-possession game as Oregon make both their free throws, but likely we're gonna see a foul here.
Nope, instead it's a timeout. Utah had 3 left, so Lynn Roberts uses her second there to make sure she can set up an inbounds play. And if you're Oregon right now, what do you have to do defensively? Do you foul right away? Do you see if you can try to stop this inbounds play that Utah's clearly setting up?
I mean, I think you have to at least try some sort of an attempt to steal. You can't just first foul, because if you foul, they can go back up 3 possessions and you're just hoping for misses, and this is a great shooting and free throw shooting team as well, so you're probably not going to get some of them. You got to try and go for a full court trap, come up with a steal, because you still have a good amount of time. There's a 7-second difference between the shot and game clock, 37 on the game clock. So they got to try and go for a steal, and if they get a foul is not a win in this situation for Oregon, I don't think.
37 seconds left, as I just mentioned. Utah does get to advance this ball, so they'll inbound it in front of their own bench. Young to inbound, guarded by Pinto, and the ball gets deflected out of bounds by Pau. Pass intended for Gianna Neepkins, 36.2 seconds. So 6-second difference between game and shot.
Utah got to advance the ball up to the Oregon side of the court. Advantage for them.
Young to inbound again. Gets it down inside for Rees. Rees, right block. Foul is called. Appears that'll be on India Rogers. 34.2 to go, which would set Kelsey Rees to the line for 2.
Rees, 74% free throw shooter, but she's had a big game tonight, impacting. We've talked about her a lot, as she's been the only player inside that's really held down the fort for Utah. The only player, I've mentioned it a couple times, over 6'2", she sits at 6'5". With all the trees that Oregon has, she's done a great job.
The Australia native makes the first one to make this a 7-point game in favor of the Utes with 34.2 to go.
And she didn't play a lot of this fourth quarter. She had an extended break.
She did.
But she still is tied for the most minutes played by Utah with 32.
Second one on the way, and good. Nothing but net. 8-point lead for the Utes. They can smell a date with Stanford as a timeout is called by Oregon. We will step aside for a couple of seconds when we come back. The final 34 seconds from Michelob Ultra Arena. You're listening to the 2022 Pac-12 Women's Basketball Semifinals on Blaze Radio. Back inside, 34.2 to go. Ball inbound to Pau at the top of the key. 78-7, Utah leads. Pau goes left now for Rogers. Rogers gets the screen from Watson, hoists the 3, and it's all air. Out of bounds, Utah ball with 23 seconds to go. Shot clock is killed.
They're gonna bring Pinto and Hurst in this one to try and get a steal, but with that miss, Utah's advancement to the championship is almost secure. They just got to inbound it. Reese will enter the game for Vieira to try and make sure this inbound comes in cleanly. 32.2 left on the clock.
Young to inbound with 23 seconds to go. Reese gets it. Foul is called. as she was tangled up with Watson and Shear of Oregon. Going to the line to shoot 2 will be Kelsey Rees, who's got 13 points on the day and is 5 of 6 from the line tonight.
Potentially could make it a 4-possession game with both makes. But you got to give credit to this Utah team, and this is a team, we talked about it in the pregame. They had the best performance we've seen from a team in this tournament yesterday against Washington State, who came in as the 3 seed. They upset them. Kelsey Rees misses the first free throw, but they've been a gritty team. Injuries haven't hurt them. McFarland being out was a huge loss. But this team has fought through adversity and are on their way to upsetting the second best team in the Pac-12.
We have a brief stoppage here as Kylie Watson's hand is bleeding. So she'll have to check out for Sydney Parrish, as they'll also have to clean the blood up off the floor. 21.6 seconds left. This Utah team, if you came just coming into this season, there weren't a whole lot of people who would have thought that we'd see this Utah team in the Pac-12 title game. They're 21 seconds away from doing so. It's been an impressive run, and it's because of the fact that they're the highest scoring team in the Pac-12. They average 77.5 points per game. They got 78 right now.
Yeah, and that scoring comes from distance. And tonight, it hasn't been especially efficient shooting day. They've hoisted 31 three-point shots and only made 9 of them. That's a 29% three-point percentage. But they've gotten them when it counted. And this is a team that knows how to score a lot of points. And when they can put up a good enough defensive performance, they're able to advance like this. And they are on their way to eventually facing Stanford on Sunday.
They've held Oregon to 38% shooting from the field, 31 from behind the arc. And the Ducks, when they've gone to the line, they haven't been great, just 68% tonight.
Yeah, and this is a team that you can't miss shots against. And that's kind of what it came down to, as the crew for the Pac-12 tournament are out there cleaning off the logo from Watson's blood. Sure, she cut her hand during a play earlier.
Oh, Watson. Her was bleeding.
21.6 seconds left. We'll give you on the floor right now for Utah: Neepkins, Gilton, McQueen, Young, and Rees. For Oregon, it's Hurst, Pinto, Pow, Shear, and Parrish. So small ball lineup, but quick enough where they can force steals to make defensive stops.
Yeah, and Rees will be at the free throw line for her second. And this has just been an incredible performance by them. They had never advanced in the Pac-12 tournament in their history since they joined the contest. Now all of these teams, the teams that were in the Final Four of the Pac-12 tournament, they were all fairly secure to making the tournament. According to ESPN's bracketology, Utah was slated to be a 9 seed, but this might move them up to an 8 or a 7 line, as we're going to have a timeout after Rees made the second free throw to make it a 9-point difference.
Who knows, will they be slotted if they're able to pull one out against the Cardinal. 21 seconds remain. We got a full timeout ahead, so we have a full break for you up ahead. We'll step aside for a moment. 79-70 Utah. The Utes 21 seconds from a date with Stanford. We'll be back in a moment. Back inside Michelob Ultra, 21 seconds to go. Oregon down 79-70 to Utah. Ball inbound into Palpa at the top of the key. She'll look for help, dumps inside to Prince. That pass is stolen by Gianna Neepkins. Neepkins will draw the foul with 13 seconds left. Foul on Sydney Parrish. And what a great performance by this Utah team. Walker mentioned right before our last break they had the most complete performance that we've seen in this tournament yesterday when they took it to the 3rd seed Washington State Cougars. Now they're 13 seconds away from upsetting the 2nd seed in this tournament. Neepkins front rims the first shot. Subs waiting to come in for Oregon. Duffushy and Hosendo's second one falls for Neepkins. Ducks 13 seconds away from having their season, at least in the Pac-12 tournament, end. But for this Utah team against Oregon, it's been a struggle for them. Oregon's 12-0 in their team's last 12 meetings. But when it matters most in the Pac-12 tournament, Utah comes out strong. Time is winding down. A last-second heave goes for Elise Hurst to make it 80-73. But that's going to do it for the first time in program history. The Utah Utes are headed to the Pac-12 tournament championship game. Final score, Utah 80, Oregon 73.
And what a story for Utah. They have a daunting challenge in front of them in Stanford in 2 days, but they're going to enjoy this one. This team is one of the best scoring teams in the nation, and they showed it here tonight. And the player of the day is the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, Gianna Neepkins. She stepped up tonight, 24 points, leading all scorers. A lot of grit from her, and Utah deserves to be in this final on Sunday.
What an impressive performance from this team. Back-to-back upsets in a year where they haven't won multiple games in the Pac-12 tournament ever. They now have 3 in this year's trip to Las Vegas. 80-73 is your final, your team highs tonight. Neepkins, 24, led all scorers for Utah. Kennedy McQueen had 11 boards, led the Utes, and 5 assists from Neepkins as well. Oregon's leaders tonight, Paopao was 17 on the points, Sabally 12 on the glass, and Paopao had 4 assists. But what a night for Utah. They will celebrate, enjoy the day off, and prep for Tara Vanderveer and the first-seeded Stanford Cardinal on Sunday. It's been a fun day for us here at Blaze Radio, and that'll wrap up our coverage of the semifinal round. We thank you so much for listening. For everyone at Blaze Radio, for Walker Smith, I'm Kevin Melater saying so long for Michelob Ultra Arena. Utes advance to the tournament championship game on Sunday.